Welcome back to the channel, guys. Tool reviews of tools I use. So I'm going to take you through what is quite a long awaited review. Bear in mind these have been out quite a long time and there's a lot of tools that have superseded it, but I feel it's worth talking about because this particular model is one of the best that was out there, certainly when I was shopping about, and you can actually buy them second hand really cheap now. I think the reason for them being so cheap is a lot of people, they buy them thinking they're going to use them a lot and they end up not using them hardly. Now that's not so bad with a corded tool, but when it comes to batteries that can be a little bit of a problem. You start to get issues with batteries if you're not using them regularly, if you're not charging them, keeping them charged and all the rest of it. You start to get problems with it, whereas with a corded tool you don't have that issue. Now it's got a good box with nice catches, as you can see. It's got the handle, which it's got a nice little design. If you see how those sort of grooves, those gills kind of blend into one, so you can actually use the whole thing as a handle if you like, or you can use this chunk as a handle. It's really good for putting it in and out of the van, and it's great because it's flush. It's all a relatively flush kind of box, so it doesn't catch and snag on things when you're sliding it in and out of a van or some racking or something like that. It's really well designed as far as boxes go. It's a little bit brittle. I've got a chunk that broke out the corner. I don't remember being too hard on it when I was putting it in and out of my van. I don't tend to baby tools, but yeah, it didn't manage to stand that day. But on the whole, it's still holding up. The hinge is still good on it and everything, so not too bad. Open the box up, nice catches. It's quite good that it's actually got the instructions and all the rest of the information just in there, but it's actually fixed and out of the way. Usually it rattles around, you end up throwing it away along with the warranty and everything, but it's quite good and neat package in there. The tool itself has been absolutely brilliant. Very powerful, but you'd expect that because it's the corded variety. It's got multiple speeds on it. This switch, this was a bit of a problem when I first got it, and if you've got the same issue, I'm not saying to do it, but it helped me. I put a tiny bit of just like WD-40 or oil or something on a little bit of tissue, and I put it on there, and I moved the button back and forth, and it got it to work. But I put it on and wiped it off, so there was no residue or anything like that. And now you see the switch goes really smoothly, whereas before that I was wrestling with this switch to get it to move, and it gave me nothing but problems, because when you're actually fighting against when you've got all the movement in the tool, and then you're trying to fight to get the switch done, it's pretty dangerous. But just with a little bit of lubricant just on the plastic, and it really helped move this. As I say, I'm not recommending to do that, but it worked for me. If you do look to get one of these models, then try and get the one that's got this lever on the top. This lever is the one that does the quick changes. It just drops out there. Just got that pin. Goes in, you've got a little kind of star fitting. Sorry, fiddly jobs are always harder to do with this camera on like this, but you can see the point. And then I just flip that down, clip it, and it is ready to go. It's a great tool. Now, as I said at the start, it's not a tool that you use a whole lot. Unless your trade really does require it a lot, then as a handyman, you're going to find that this is the sort of thing that you use to get you out of trouble a lot. It's the sort of thing that you want the cutters at a time when you can't fit anything else in. You can't quite fit a saw in, you can't fit your hands into the area, or maybe you want a flush cut, and this is just great for flush cutting. It's great for trimming under door frames and things if you're trying to fit flooring and things. It's an absolutely wonderful tool, but be prepared, you might not use it all the time unless you know you're going to. Going back to the design of the box, one of its letdowns is that it's really hard to store the cables. You can see I've just kind of piled it in. I'm sure if I rolled it all up I could make it look like it did when I first bought it out of the package, but really in real life you're just not going to do that. But it gets in there eventually. Have a look at these bins here. It's nice that they actually give you plenty of space for the attachments. So I've got a whole load of sanding pads in this bin on the left here. Unfortunately, this is one of the biggest letdowns of the tool. If you're buying it because you want a nice little detailed sander of the sort of this variety, I'd look elsewhere. I haven't found this to be particularly good. Maybe you guys might disagree if you've got one, but I haven't found these attachments to be that great. They don't stay on very well. Just didn't seem to work well for me when I wanted to use it as that. But where this does excel is the blades. All the different blades and attachments that you've got that just get you out of trouble time and time again. Things like this, you see these, that's still got that kind of gunky film over that they put these blades in to protect. The actual Fein blades themselves, you can just see it there, are really, really well made. But there's other blades, aftermarket blades available, which work good for the price, very well for the price. And I've just got a whole host of them, absolutely tons of them, so many I'm dropping them everywhere. But you see the point, I can actually fit a whole load into that bin there. Some tool cases, they're often quite prescriptive. You've only got one way of putting things in. You've only got enough space for a few items, and it doesn't really give you a whole lot of flexibility. But when you see something like this, you know that you're stuck with those items in there. You can swap them around a little bit, but it's very prescriptive in its nature. Whereas this, you can just pile loads of different ones in, and I've still got space for, I'm probably only about 2/3 full on this box, and I can fit a whole load more attachments should I ever need to. So I think that's a good design. I wish they made all tool cases and bags like that and give you plenty of space for it, but a lot of the time you end up just fighting for room with it. Yeah, if you can pick one of these up second hand, I really suggest it. The price, I think you'll literally pay maybe less than a quarter of what I paid for this when I first got it. This was a pricey tool, but now you can get it cheap. There's a lot of good battery models out there that if you are looking for a battery one, maybe go with Milwaukee, maybe go with DeWalt. But if you just want a cheap corded for every now and again use, highly recommend this. Make your own minds up, guys, and I'll see you next time.